Hello everyone, today we have one of the most historic weapons to ever be introduced into World War I for the US military and defended enemy lines and defeated people in trenches like it was nobody's business. Here is the 1897 Winchester Trench Gun. The trench gun, or known as the trench sweeper, was made in 1897 by Winchester for the US military to defend against German lines, and was so good that the German military eventually tried to outlaw this shotgun due to how insane it was on the battlefield. The shotgun was so awesome and accurate on the battlefield that it was able to shoot grenades out of the air due to how accurate it was. So to start off, we will begin, as usual, with the stock. As you can see, the stock, unlike my Mosin Nagant, is a lot more smaller and skinnier, and sloping a lot more tight, compact, and goes across everything super well. And you can see right here all the slopes that go up, just like the Mosin, just a little slightly different though, with these cheese pieces that go against here up onto these top slope parts that go into more cheese pieces that are also connected to here. Next, you can notice the trigger and this little bolt, which is supposed to act as the safety. Unfortunately, it does not work on my model as it's Lego, and that's unfortunately all I could do. Then you can see the trigger guard here, which is fairly connected, which has a rubber band that goes up to the bottom ammo slot, which we'll get into in a second. Moving up is the actual chambering area, which you can see right here. Actually opens up, pushing back the hammer, and right here you can load shells. As you can see right here, we have a classic 12 gauge shotgun shell, and you can load it right there, and there is a cheese piece right here, which is a slope that when pushed back will slide the piece out on this little rich area, making the shell eject. So it will go forward. But unfortunately, since I do not have a tripod, I cannot hold it up properly and close it all the way due to how weirdly fragile the shotgun is in other ways. I could attempt to do it, but I just don't actually know how to. Moving up to the actual barrel and ammunition area, here is the barrel part for the ammo, which will slide in and go through here in the magazine tube. And here's the pump that actually connects to here, getting the shell out. And slides actually fairly nicely down this chamber area. And this hairband actually is what holds the entire magazine tube together due to the fact of how fragile these are. And this piece right here is what stops the actual pump from going any farther back and destroying the actual gun itself. But it shouldn't be too hard due to the fact that I have super glued most stuff on the weapon, and this is actually probably my longest surviving weapon, and it has been here since an entire year. And some people might not know this, but there is a thing called Fair that I entered this gun along with an M14 that I no longer actually have, but I used it for the Mosin Nagant, and this actually almost won the competition, so that's pretty awesome right there. But anyways, moving up to here, you can see probably one of my favorite parts of the entire weapon, the actual sling mounts that are working, which I got inspiration from my different username on YouTube. All this stuff actually works, I just don't have the Lego sling to actually attach it to. And moving up to here is the bayonet lug. I actually did have a bayonet, but it was actually very small and did not stay well together. Then over here you can see the barrel, which actually goes somewhat far back there. This gun has actually been in the work for about a year now. As you can see on screen, is a original prototype version that I managed to take a video of, and it looks absolutely nothing like how it turned out to be. Now for the part you've probably been waiting for, and I actually kind of forgot to show, is how the magazine tube works at the bottom. This can actually hold a maximum of 5 shells, not 6, as you can see right here. Then you pull the rubber band down. Usually with the force of gravity when I'm holding it up normally, it won't actually do this, but again, I don't have a tripod. And as usually you pull that back, the shell would go into here and this part would pop out the bottom, but my model sadly does not do that. I attempted this in the past, but it just didn't go very well. Alright, and that was how you reload the gun. Only other stuff I have to say is, well, the actual gun is actually 49.5 inches And this gun, I believe, actually goes out to the exact length, from what I remember. And another thing I will mention is that this pump part has actually been through a few renditions, as I will show on screen right now. You can see in one of my older videos that I attempted to get out at some point, but couldn't due to the fact that our channel had actually been taken down, technically. And I couldn't finish the video in time. But here we are now with the new channel, and I finally have gotten a chance to take a full dive, in-depth review of this gun. And it's actually the gun you see in our profile picture. So yeah, this is when bricks go boom, and I will see you guys in another video.